Hey everybody, this is one of my favorite books from when I was little. It's called Officer Buckle and Gloria, and it's by Peggy Rathman. Officer Buckle knew more about safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77, never stand on a swivel chair. Look. Do you think you know why he made that a safety tip? Do we have safety tips in our classroom to help us to stay safe? Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Afterwards, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle. But Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. Then, one day, Napville Police Department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. Do any of you have dogs that know how to sit? Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1, keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. Why do you think they're paying attention now? Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle, always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. Look, Gloria's doing a headstand. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. The dog is doing tricks. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of tips with plenty of expression. He thinks the kids are paying attention to him, but really, they're paying attention to the dog. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. They don't actually think he's funny. They think the dog is funny. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville High School. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawings showed a lot of imagination. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend, Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips, and please bring along that police dog. Everybody wants him to come to their school. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. Look, he doesn't notice that Gloria's doing all these tricks when he's not looking. After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. Look, Gloria the dog is signing autographs right there. It's pretty silly. Then, one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. There's a lot of people there. When he finished safety tip 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms, the students jumped to their feet and applauded. That means to clap. Bravo, bravo, they cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. Uh-oh. The next day, the principal of Knappville School telephoned the police station. "Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech." Officer Buckle frowned. "I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody even looks at me anyway." "Oh," said Mrs. Topple. "Well, how about Gloria? Could she come?" Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to school. Gloria sat on stage, looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. So she's sad without Officer Buckle there with her. Look, she's just sitting there. After Gloria left, Knappville School had its biggest accident ever. It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, sploosh. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the terrible accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. Don't worry, I was wearing my safety helmet." Look, it looks like the hammer hit her head, but she was wearing a helmet. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip yet. Safety tip 101. Always stick with your buddy. Maybe you can talk with your parents about things that you do that help keep you safe.